Question 1. What year marked the beginning of the 100 Years' War between England and France? A. 1215, B. 1337, C. 1453, D. 1066. Answer B. 1337. The 100 Years' War between England and France began in 1337. Question 2. Name the battle in 1066 that led to the Norman conquest of England. A. The Battle of Agincourt, B. The Battle of Hastings, C. The Battle of Waterloo, D. The Battle of Britain. Answer B. The Battle of Hastings. The Battle of Hastings in 1066 led to the Norman conquest of England. Question 3. Who was the first woman to be elected as a Member of Parliament in the UK? A. Margaret Thatcher, B. Nancy Astor, C. Emmeline Pankhurst, D. Constance Markievicz. Answer D. Constance Markievicz. Constance Markievicz was the first woman elected to the British House of Commons in 1918, but as an Irish Sinn Féin candidate, she did not take a seat. Question 4. In what year did the Great Fire of London occur? A. 1566, B. 1666, C. 1766, D. 1866. Answer B. 1666. The Great Fire of London occurred in 1666. Question 5. Name the document signed in 1215 that limited the powers of the king and laid the foundation for modern democracy. A. The Magna Carta, B. The Bill of Rights, C. The Charter of Liberties, D. The Declaration of Independence. Answer A. The Magna Carta. The Magna Carta, signed in 1215, limited the powers of the king and laid the foundation for modern democracy. Question 6. What was the main cause of the English Civil War in the 17th century? A. Religious differences, B. A dispute over the monarchy's power, C. Economic issues, D. Foreign invasion. Answer B. The dispute over the monarchy's power. The main cause of the English Civil War was a dispute over the monarchy's power versus the rights of Parliament. Question 7. Who was the UK Prime Minister when the National Health Service, NHS, was established? A. Winston Churchill, B. Clement Attlee, C. Margaret Thatcher, D. Tony Blair. Answer B. Clement Attlee. Clement Attlee was the UK Prime Minister when the National Health Service, NHS, was established in 1948. Question 8. During which monarch's reign did the Victorian era occur, and what are the years of the reign? A. Queen Elizabeth I, 1558 to 1603. B. Queen Victoria, 1837 to 1901. C. King George III, 1760 to 1820. D. Queen Elizabeth II, 1952 present. Answer B. Queen Victoria, 1837 to 1901. The Victorian era occurred during Queen Victoria's reign from 1837 to 1901. Question 9. Name the British scientist who discovered penicillin in 1928. A. Isaac Newton. B. Charles Darwin. C. Alexander Fleming. D. Michael Faraday. Answer C. Alexander Fleming. Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin in 1928. Question 10. What year did the Battle of Britain take place during World War II? A. 1939. B. 1940. C. 1941. D. 1945. Answer B. 1940. The Battle of Britain took place in 1940. Question 11. When was the Magna Carta originally issued and by which king? A. 1066 by William the Conqueror. B. 1215 by King John. C. 1315 by Edward II. D. 1415 by Henry V. Answer B. 1215 by King John. The Magna Carta was originally issued in 1215 by King John. Question 12. Which British explorer is credited with the first circumnavigation of the globe in the 16th century? A. Christopher Columbus. B. Francis Drake. C. James Cook. D. Ferdinand Magellan. Answer B. Francis Drake. Francis Drake is credited with the first circumnavigation of the globe by an Englishman in the 16th century. Question 13. Name the landmark legal document established in 1689 that expanded the rights of the Parliament and the limits on the monarch's power. A. The Magna Carta. B. The Bill of Rights. C. The Charter of Liberties. D. The Declaration of Independence. Answer B. The Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights in 1689 expanded the rights of the Parliament and limited the monarch's power. Question 14. What significant political event happened in Britain in 1707? A. The signing of the Magna Carta. B. The establishment of the Commonwealth. C. The Act of Union between England and Scotland. D. The beginning of the English Civil War. Answer C. The Act of Union between England and Scotland. The significant political event in 1707 was the Act of Union between England and Scotland. Question 15. Who was the British monarch during the American War of Independence? A. Queen Victoria. B. King George III. C. King Henry VIII. D. Queen Elizabeth I. Answer B. King George III. King George III was the British monarch during the American War of Independence. Question 16. What was the main outcome of the Battle of Waterloo in 1815? A. The defeat of Napoleon Bonaparte. B. The victory of Napoleon Bonaparte. C. The start of the British Empire. D. The independence of the American colonies. Answer: A. The defeat of Napoleon Bonaparte. The main outcome of the Battle of Waterloo in 1815 was the defeat of Napoleon Bonaparte. Question 17. Name the legislation passed in 1833 that abolished slavery throughout the British Empire. A. The Emancipation Proclamation. B. The Slavery Abolition Act. C. The Civil Rights Act. D. The Magna Carta. Answer: B. The Slavery Abolition Act. The Slavery Abolition Act, passed in 1833, abolished slavery throughout the British Empire. Question 18. In what year did women in the UK gain the right to vote at the same age as men? A. 1918. B. 1928. C. 1938. D. 1948. Answer: B. 1928. Women in the UK gained the right to vote at the same age as men in 1928. Question 19. Who was the British Prime Minister at the start of World War I? A. Winston Churchill. B. Neville Chamberlain. C. Herbert Asquith. D. David Lloyd George. Answer: C. Herbert Asquith. Herbert Asquith was the British Prime Minister at the start of World War I. Question 20. Name the treaty that concluded the First World War for Britain and its allies. A. The Treaty of Versailles. B. The Treaty of Paris. C. The Treaty of Westminster. D. The Treaty of Rome. Answer: A. The Treaty of Versailles. The Treaty of Versailles concluded the First World War for Britain and its allies. Question 21. What role did Britain play in the abolition of the slave trade in the 19th century? A. Britain was the last European country to abolish the slave trade. B. Britain played a leading role in abolishing the slave trade through legislative acts and naval enforcement. C. The British Empire expanded the slave trade significantly during the 19th century. D. Britain was indifferent to the slave trade and took no action to abolish it. Answer: B. Britain played a leading role in abolishing the slave trade through legislative acts and naval enforcement. The British government passed the Slave Trade Act in 1807, making it illegal to engage in the slave trade within the British Empire, and subsequently took action to suppress the trade internationally. Question 22. Explain the significance of the Magna Carta in the development of parliamentary democracy. A. It established the first parliament in England. B. It was the first document to limit the powers of the king and outline the rights of subjects, influencing the development of democratic principles. C. It declared England a republic. D. It was primarily a financial agreement between the king and his subjects. Answer: B. It was the first document to limit the powers of the king and outline the rights of subjects, influencing the development of democratic principles. The Magna Carta is considered a foundational text in the establishment of constitutional law and parliamentary democracy. Question 23. What was the impact of the Great Famine, 1845 to 1852, on Ireland? A. It led to a significant increase in Ireland's population. B. It had no significant impact on Ireland or its population. C. It resulted in widespread disease with no change in agricultural practices. D. It caused mass starvation, disease and emigration, significantly reducing Ireland's population. Answer: D. It caused mass starvation, disease and emigration, significantly reducing Ireland's population. The Great Famine had a profound and lasting impact on Ireland, leading to a substantial decline in population and contributing to political and social unrest. Question 24. Describe the changes brought about by the women's suffrage movement in the early 20th century. A. Women were granted the right to vote in all public elections. B. The movement led to the immediate and full political participation of women in the British Empire. C. Women were granted limited voting rights, marking the beginning of gender equality in voting. D. There were no significant changes. Women continued to be excluded from the political process. Answer: C. Women were granted limited voting rights, marking the beginning of gender equality in voting. The Representation of the People Act 1918 granted voting rights to certain categories of women, and the Equal Franchise Act of 1928 extended equal voting rights to all women over the age of 21, significantly advancing the cause of gender equality in Britain. Question 25. How did World War I affect the British Empire and its colonies? A. It led to the immediate dissolution of the British Empire. B. The war had no significant impact on the British Empire or its colonies. C. It strengthened the British Empire's control over its colonies. D. It strained resources but also led to increased demands for independence within the colonies. Answer: D. It strained resources but also led to increased demands for independence within the colonies. World War I had profound effects on the British Empire, including economic strain and increased military contributions from the colonies, which in turn fueled desires for greater self-determination and independence movements. Question 26. Discuss the significance of the Anglo-Irish Treaty of 1921. A. It established the independence of Scotland from England. B. It marked the beginning of the British Commonwealth. C. It led to the partition of Ireland and the establishment of the Irish Free State. D. It was a trade agreement between Ireland and England to promote economic development. Answer: C. It led to the partition of Ireland and the establishment of the Irish Free State. The Anglo-Irish Treaty was a crucial step towards Ireland's independence from British rule, leading to the establishment of the Irish Free State and setting the stage for further political developments in Ireland. Question 27. What led to the creation of the welfare state in Britain after World War II? A. The success of the British economy, which allowed for extensive social welfare programs. B. The publication of the Beveridge Report, which identified 5 giant evils in society leading to the establishment of social security and public health services. C. A desire to replicate the social policies of the United States. D. The demands of the British monarchy to improve the living standards of the populace. Answer: B. The publication of the Beveridge Report, which identified 5 giant evils in society, leading to the establishment of social security and public health services. The report played a pivotal role in the creation of the modern British welfare state, including the founding of the National Health Service. Question 28. Outline the key events and outcomes of the Suez Crisis of 1956. A. It confirmed Britain's status as a world superpower. B. It involved a successful military campaign by Britain to control oil supplies in the Middle East. C. It led to the nationalisation of the Suez Canal by Egypt, followed by a failed intervention by Britain, France and Israel, significantly diminishing Britain's international standing. D. It resulted in an increase in the price of oil worldwide. Answer: C. It led to the nationalisation of the Suez Canal by Egypt, followed by a failed intervention by Britain, France and Israel, significantly diminishing Britain's international standing. The Suez Crisis marked a turning point in post-war British foreign policy, illustrating the limits of Britain's power on the world stage. Question 29. Explain the social and economic impacts of the Thatcher era in the 1980s. A. It led to a more egalitarian society with reduced income disparities. B. It saw significant privatization of state-owned industries, deregulation and economic policies that increased unemployment and social inequality initially, but also spurred economic growth. C. It resulted in Britain abandoning its capitalist economic system. D. It was characterized by a significant expansion of the welfare state. Answer: B. It saw significant privatization of state-owned industries, deregulation and economic policies that increased unemployment and social inequality initially, but also spurred economic growth. The Thatcher era is known for its transformative impact on the British economy and society, with lasting debates about its benefits and costs. Question 30. What were the main causes and effects of the Scottish referendum in 2014? A. It was held to decide whether Scotland should become an independent country, ultimately resulting in Scotland remaining part of the United Kingdom. B. It led to Scotland's immediate independence from the United Kingdom. C. It resulted in the dissolution of the Scottish Parliament. D. The referendum was held to decide if Scotland should join the European Union independently. Answer: A. It was held to decide whether Scotland should become an independent country, ultimately resulting in Scotland remaining part of the United Kingdom. The referendum was a significant event in UK politics, reflecting Scotland's desire for greater autonomy, while ultimately affirming its place within the United Kingdom. Question 31. Discuss the historical significance of the Gunpowder Plot of 1605. A. It was a successful coup that changed the English monarchy. B. It was a failed attempt by a group of Catholic conspirators to blow up the Houses of Parliament, aiming to kill King James I and restore a Catholic monarch. C. It marked the beginning of the English Civil War. D. It was a celebration of the British Empire's military victories. Answer: B. It was a failed attempt by a group of Catholic conspirators to blow up the Houses of Parliament, aiming to kill King James I and restore a Catholic monarch. The gunpowder plot is remembered annually on Guy Fawkes Night, symbolizing the failure of the plot and the survival of the parliamentary system. Question 32. How did the British government respond to the Irish famine of the 19th century? A. By providing immediate and sufficient aid to all affected. B. By ignoring the crisis and letting it resolve naturally. C. Through limited and often ineffective relief efforts. D. By implementing successful agricultural reforms to prevent future famines. Answer: C. Through limited and often ineffective relief efforts. The British government's response to the Great Famine is widely criticised for being inadequate, with relief efforts that were often too late or insufficient to meet the vast needs of the affected population. Question 33. What were the consequences of the Act of Settlement 1701 on the British monarchy? A. It established parliamentary sovereignty over the monarchy. B. It limited the monarchy's power, ensuring a Protestant succession. C. It abolished the monarchy, establishing a republic. D. It expanded the powers of the monarchy, reducing the influence of Parliament. Answer: B. It limited the monarchy's power, ensuring a Protestant succession. The Act of Settlement 1701 was significant for stipulating that only Protestants could succeed to the British throne, thereby securing a Protestant lineage, and further limiting the monarch's power in favour of parliamentary rule. Question 34. Explain the role of the British monarchy in the constitutional framework of the UK. A. The monarchy has absolute power over the government and laws. B. The monarchy plays a ceremonial role, with real political power vested in Parliament. C. The monarchy is responsible for the daily operations of the government. D. The monarchy directly controls the military and foreign policy. Answer: B. The monarchy plays a ceremonial role, with real political power vested in Parliament. In the UK's constitutional monarchy, the sovereign serves as a ceremonial figurehead, while the elected Parliament and Prime Minister hold legislative and executive powers. Question 35. Describe the origins and implications of the English Bill of Rights of 1689. A. It was a treaty between England and France to end a war. B. It declared the independence of the American colonies. C. It established the rights of Parliament and limits on the monarch's power, influencing the development of constitutional monarchy. D. It outlined the rights of all citizens to free health care. Answer: C. It established the rights of Parliament and limits on the monarch's power, influencing the development of constitutional monarchy. The English Bill of Rights laid down the foundation for the constitutional monarchy, ensuring the supremacy of Parliament over the Crown and securing civil liberties. Question 36. What factors contributed to the UK's decision to leave the European Union in 2016? A. Economic recession within the EU. B. Concerns over sovereignty and immigration control. C. A military conflict between EU member states. D. The dissolution of NATO. Answer B. Concerns over sovereignty and immigration control. The decision to leave the EU, known as Brexit, was largely influenced by debates over national sovereignty, control over immigration, and dissatisfaction with EU regulations and costs. Question 37. Discuss the role and importance of the Commonwealth in the 21st century. A. It serves as a military alliance similar to NATO. B. It is primarily focused on economic benefits for the UK. C. It promotes democracy, human rights, and economic development among member countries. D. It aims to reinstate British rule over former colonies. Answer C. It promotes democracy, human rights, and economic development among member countries. The Commonwealth of Nations today is a voluntary association of 54 independent countries, focusing on fostering international cooperation, support for democratic practices, and socio-economic development. Question 38. Explain the historical significance of Hadrian's Wall. A. It was built to mark the boundary of the Roman Empire in Britain and to control trade and military movements. B. It was a defensive fortification against Viking invasions. C. It served as a trade barrier between England and Scotland. D. It was constructed as a monument to Hadrian's victory over the Celts. Answer A. It was built to mark the boundary of the Roman Empire in Britain and to control trade and military movements. Hadrian's Wall was a significant Roman engineering feat, symbolizing Roman power and their attempts to secure the frontier of their empire in Britannia. Question 39. What were the causes and outcomes of the Peasants' Revolt of 1381? A. It was a successful revolution that overthrew the monarchy. B. It resulted from high taxes and social injustices, leading to significant but ultimately suppressed uprisings. C. It was caused by a dispute over the succession to the throne. D. It led to the establishment of a peasant-led government. Answer B. It resulted from high taxes and social injustices, leading to significant but ultimately suppressed uprisings. The Peasants' Revolt was a major uprising fueled by economic hardship and resentment against feudal obligations, showcasing the peasants' capacity to challenge authority, though it was ultimately quelled. Question 40. Describe the impact of the Enclosure Acts on British agriculture and society. A. They led to a decrease in agricultural productivity. B. They resulted in the consolidation of land, driving peasants to urban areas and contributing to the Industrial Revolution. C. They abolished all forms of land ownership. D. They encouraged the return to a feudal system of agriculture. Answer B. They resulted in the consolidation of land, driving peasants to urban areas and contributing to the Industrial Revolution. The Enclosure Acts transformed the landscape of rural England, replacing the traditional open field farming system with more efficient but exclusive enclosed farms, thereby accelerating urbanization and industrial growth. Question 41. Who was the leader of the Labour Party who significantly contributed to the establishment of the welfare state post-World War II? A. Winston Churchill. B. Margaret Thatcher. C. Clement Attlee. D. Tony Blair. Answer C. Clement Attlee. Clement Attlee, as the leader of the Labour Party, played a significant role in the establishment of the welfare state in the UK after World War II. Question 42. What was the purpose of the Statute of Westminster 1931, and how did it affect the dominions of the British Empire? A. To declare war on Germany, giving autonomy to the dominions. B. To establish the Bank of England, centralising economic control. C. To grant legislative independence to the dominions, marking a step towards self-government. D. To introduce the gold standard across the empire, stabilising currencies. Answer C. To grant legislative independence to the dominions, marking a step towards self-government. The Statute of Westminster 1931 granted legislative independence to the dominions of the British Empire, a significant step towards their full autonomy. Question 43. What is the significance of the Beveridge Report in British social welfare history? A. It introduced the concept of universal health care. B. It laid the foundations for the modern welfare state. C. It established the Bank of England. D. It marked the end of the British Empire. Answer B. It laid the foundations for the modern welfare state. The Beveridge Report is significant in British social welfare history for laying the foundations of the modern welfare state post-World War II. Question 44. When did the United Kingdom officially leave the European Union, an event commonly referred to as Brexit? A. 2016. B. 2019. C. 2020. D. 2021. Answer C. 2020. The United Kingdom officially left the European Union in 2020, an event commonly referred to as Brexit. Question 45. Name the operation during World War II that led to the mass evacuation of Allied soldiers from the beaches of Dunkirk, France. A. Operation Overlord. B. Operation Barbarossa. C. Operation Dynamo. D. Operation Market Garden. Answer C. Operation Dynamo. Operation Dynamo was the operation during World War II that led to the mass evacuation of Allied soldiers from the beaches of Dunkirk, France. Question 46. What was the main economic change introduced by the government in the UK in 1979? A. The adoption of the euro. B. The introduction of austerity measures. C. The privatization of state-owned enterprises. D. The establishment of the minimum wage. Answer C. The privatization of state-owned enterprises. The main economic change introduced by the UK government in 1979 was the privatization of state-owned enterprises, marking the beginning of a shift towards a more market-oriented economy. Question 47. Who was the British monarch during the formation of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland in 1801? A. Queen Victoria. B. King George III. C. King Henry VIII. D. Queen Elizabeth I. Answer B. King George III. King George III was the British monarch during the formation of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland in 1801. Question 48. Name the first female Speaker of the House of Commons in the UK. A. Margaret Thatcher. B. Betty Boothroyd. C. Theresa May. D. Nancy Astor. Answer B. Betty Boothroyd. Betty Boothroyd was the first female Speaker of the House of Commons in the UK. Question 49. What was the primary cause of the Peasants' Revolt in 1381? A. The introduction of the poll tax. B. Religious reform. C. Land disputes. D. Royal succession issues. Answer A. The introduction of the poll tax. The primary cause of the Peasants' Revolt in 1381 was the introduction of the poll tax. Question 50. Who discovered the circulation of the blood and in what century? A. Isaac Newton, 17th century. B. William Harvey, 17th century. C. Charles Darwin, 19th century. D. Galileo Galilei, 16th century. Answer B. William Harvey, 17th century. William Harvey discovered the circulation of the blood in the 17th century. Question 51. Name the agreement signed in 1998 that is often credited with significantly reducing the violence in Northern Ireland. A. The Good Friday Agreement. B. The Belfast Agreement. C. The Easter Agreement. D. Both A and B are correct. Answer D. Both A and B are correct. The Good Friday Agreement, also known as the Belfast Agreement, is credited with significantly reducing the violence in Northern Ireland. Question 52. What year did the Scottish Parliament reconvene after a hiatus of several centuries? A. 1999. B. 2000. C. 2001. D. 2002. Answer A. 1999. The Scottish Parliament reconvened in 1999 after a hiatus of several centuries. Question 53. Name the major legislative change in 1969 that lowered the voting age from 21 to 18 in the UK. A. The Voting Rights Act. B. The Representation of the People Act. C. The Electoral Reform Act. D. The Democracy Act. Answer B. The Representation of the People Act. The major legislative change in 1969 that lowered the voting age from 21 to 18 in the UK was the Representation of the People Act. Question 54. Who was the architect behind the rebuilding of the House of Commons after it was destroyed during World War II? A. Christopher Wren. B. Giles Gilbert Scott. C. Sir Charles Barry. D. Norman Foster. Answer C. Sir Charles Barry. Sir Charles Barry was the architect behind the rebuilding of the House of Commons after it was destroyed during World War II. Question 55. In which year did the Great Exhibition take place, and who was its main organizer? A. 1851, Prince Albert. B. 1872, Queen Victoria. C. 1901, Winston Churchill. D. 1952, Elizabeth II. Answer A. 1851, Prince Albert. The Great Exhibition took place in 1851, and its main organizer was Prince Albert. Question 56. What was the significant change in British immigration policy in 1962? A. The introduction of the points-based system. B. The end of the open door policy. C. The Commonwealth Immigrants Act. D. The establishment of the UK Border Agency. Answer C. The Commonwealth Immigrants Act. The significant change in British immigration policy in 1962 was the Commonwealth Immigrants Act, which restricted immigration from Commonwealth countries. Question 57. Who was the British monarch at the start of the 20th century? A. Queen Victoria. B. King Edward VII. C. King George V. D. Queen Elizabeth II. Answer B. King Edward VII. King Edward VII was the British monarch at the start of the 20th century. Question 58. Name the British law that significantly expanded the franchise, the right to vote, in 1832. A. The Magna Carta. B. The Bill of Rights. C. The Reform Act. D. The Voting Rights Act. Answer C. The Reform Act. The British law that significantly expanded the franchise in 1832 was the Reform Act. Question 59. What is the significance of the Chartist movement in the 19th century? A. It advocated for women's suffrage. B. It fought for the abolition of slavery. C. It sought political reforms, including voting rights for all men. D. It campaigned for the rights of the working class. Answer C. It sought political reforms, including voting rights for all men. The significance of the Chartist movement was its fight for political reforms, including voting rights for all men. Question 60. Who was the British Foreign Secretary responsible for the Balfour Declaration of 1917, and what was its purpose? A. Winston Churchill, to declare war on the Ottoman Empire. B. Arthur Balfour, to support the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. C. Neville Chamberlain, to promise independence to India. D. Anthony Eden, to form an alliance with the United States. Answer B. Arthur Balfour, to support the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. The Balfour Declaration of 1917, issued by British Foreign Secretary Arthur Balfour, supported the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. Question 61. Name the first British astronaut to visit the International Space Station. A. Helen Sharman. B. Tim Peake. C. Michael Foale. D. Piers Sellers. Answer B. Tim Peake. Tim Peake was the first British astronaut to visit the International Space Station in December 2015. Question 62. What historical event is commemorated by Bonfire Night in the UK? A. The signing of the Magna Carta. B. The victory over the Spanish Armada. C. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. D. The end of the English Civil War. Answer C. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. Bonfire Night, or Guy Fawkes Night, commemorates the failure of the Gunpowder Plot of 1605, an attempt to blow up the Houses of Parliament. Question 63. In what year was the first underground passenger railway opened in London? A. 1825. B. 1863. C. 1894. D. 1905. Answer B. 1863. The first underground passenger railway, the Metropolitan Railway, was opened in London in 1863. Question 64. Who was the Prime Minister of the UK during the Suez Crisis in 1956? A. Winston Churchill. B. Anthony Eden. C. Harold Macmillan. D. Clement Attlee. Answer B. Anthony Eden. Anthony Eden was the Prime Minister of the UK during the Suez Crisis in 1956. Question 65. What major legal reform was enacted with the passage of the Human Rights Act 1998 in the UK? A. It established the National Health Service. B. It decriminalised homosexuality. C. It incorporated the European Convention on Human Rights into British law. D. It introduced the minimum wage. Answer C. It incorporated the European Convention on Human Rights into British law. The Human Rights Act 1998 significantly impacted UK law by incorporating the European Convention on Human Rights. Question 66. Describe the main provisions of the Act of Union 1707 between England and Scotland. A. It unified the two countries under a single monarch. B. It created a single parliament for the two countries at Westminster. C. It established English as the official language of both countries. D. Both A and B are correct. Answer D. Both A and B are correct. The Act of Union 1707 between England and Scotland unified the two countries under a single monarch and created a single parliament at Westminster. Question 67. What was the significant scientific achievement of Rosalind Franklin in the 20th century? A. Discovering the structure of DNA. B. Developing the polio vaccine. C. The first successful human heart transplant. D. Inventing the World Wide Web. Answer A. Discovering the structure of DNA. Rosalind Franklin made a significant contribution to discovering the structure of DNA through her work with X-ray diffraction. Question 68. Who was the leader of Great Britain during the 7 Years' War? A. Queen Anne. B. King George II. C. King George III. D. Prime Minister William Pitt the Elder. Answer D. Prime Minister William Pitt the Elder. William Pitt the Elder was the de facto leader of Great Britain during much of the 7 Years' War, serving as Secretary of State. Question 69. What event in 1926 was a defining moment for the British trade union movement? A. The Jarrow March. B. The Battle of Cable Street. C. The General Strike. D. The Tolpuddle Martyrs' Trial. Answer C. The General Strike. The General Strike of 1926 was a defining moment for the British trade union movement, with millions of workers going on strike in support of coal miners. Question 70. Name the treaty that ended the First Anglo-Dutch War in the 17th century. A. The Treaty of Breda. B. The Treaty of Westminster. C. The Treaty of Utrecht. D. The Peace of Westphalia. Answer A. The Treaty of Breda. The Treaty of Breda ended the First Anglo-Dutch War in 1667, leading to peace between England and the Dutch Republic.